Hello again, friends. So today we'll be learning about pattern analysis, how we can see the pattern in data and understand them. First, let's open our ArcGIS Pro. While it's opening, let me pause the video. Now let's create a new map, that's a new project. We're going to name this project something like pattern analysis, maybe. Pattern analysis. Where do we want to save it? Save it somewhere where you feel most suitable. I'll let it be here and click OK. Then we'll be adding some data. I have some data, so let's add it. Map, add data. I have it here, so I'll go there, browse wherever your data is, and let's import the data. I have the weather stations data. Let's import it. Here we can see the data. The weather stations, if we see that the data, we see that there are data that's more clustered here and here and here, but sparsely located in the other areas. Let's explore the attribute table of this. You can press Ctrl T or right click and then go to attribute table as well. So if we see the attribute table, we can find that there's a contrast rate, elevation, temperature, and other data as well. So I'm sorry. Okay, so we can understand that we have temperature and elevation data that we'll be using mostly for this project. While we are exploring, let's see which countries appear to have the highest concentration of weather monitoring station. What do you think when you see this? We see this, then we can see that Switzerland has lots of monitoring stations, also Austria, which this is called the clusters of stations. That means the stations appear closer together compared to other stations. Which areas appear to have smallest concentration of weather monitoring station? These areas are said to have stations that are dispersed. For example, it's France, Germany, they have dispersed stations. Which countries appear to be without weather monitoring stations? Well, in our case, there's no monitoring station in Hungary or Ukraine and other places. So these countries do have weather stations, but they have not reported for our project. Now, if we click the full extent, then we can see the full extent of the data. Return to the map of the Western and Central Europe. If we click here and click zoom to layer, then we can see the extent of our layer. Next, we'll be calculating mean center. How do we do that? Go to analysis, click tools, and find the tool. Mean center. What will this tool do? This will find the mean center of all the data available here. In the mean center tool, let's select our input feature with the station and let's call it the mean center and run the tool. So it's as easy as that. Now we get the mean center. How about we compare it with the median center? So for that, we can search median center and run this tool as well, just like mean center. So we'll import the weather stations and calculate the median center. That's how we calculate the average. By mean center tool, we calculate the average location of the weather station. And what do you see? Which region of Western and Central Europe is the mean center located in? It's about France, and it's in the border of France and what country is it? France and Germany, maybe, yeah. But what does this tell us about the spatial distribution of the dataset? We see it's more close towards this high cluster data, so that's where the mean center is, and also the median center as well. Next, we'll also calculate the directional distribution of the data. It will to see if there is any directional trends that is apparent, how the data is distributed. Let's do that by using the tool called directional distribution. Yeah, that's the one. Input weather stations, and that's it. Let's run it. So what do we see? Let's look at the attribute table, and what do we see here? There is a rotational value as well, right, in the of the directional distribution. So what's the orientation of our ellipse? It's 79.84 degrees. That's the orientation of our ellipse. That's how we can find the orientation of ellipse. That's how we find directional distribution of our data. What will we do next? Let's explore our data more. How about we visualize the data using histogram? How can we do that? Since we have weather station, that's our main data. Right click it and go to create chart and create a histogram. Let's see how we can interpret the histogram as well. So let's click properties, and first let's see the elevation. What do we find? The elevation, it's not normally distributed, right? How about temperature? Well, it is sort of normally distributed. It looks like that, but you see there is an outlier. As well, there is an outlier as well. So this data of Lafayette, that's where the outlier is. That might be an error while collecting the data. So it's kind of normal distributed almost, but it's not. Because of that data, we might have many errors while interpolating our data. So we can see the pattern. Also, if we look into it, the chart properties, actually let's pin it. Yeah, we can see the mean, median, standard deviation and all as well. And there we can see the skewness and other properties as well. So that's how we can explore our data. Using this data, we can see the lowest and highest count, the maximum and minimum temperature as well. How about exploring our data using another chart? Create chart. We can create how to create a scatter plot. So click here, and then let's click our variable elevation versus temperature. How about that? So as the elevation increases, the temperature decreases. That's what it's showing, right? If we want to create a QQ plot, that's also widely used for comparison. Elevation, right? So we can see that it's not normally distributed. But what about temperature? Yeah, temperature is kind of normally distributed, but there we have an outlier. Again, it's the same weather station that's giving us the wrong information. That's how we can explore the pattern and understand the outliers. That's how we can interpret our QQ plot as well. So there are also some other ways to explore our data, to interpret our data, like semi-variogram, and also creating Voronoi maps. But sadly, in ArcGIS Pro we don't have those tools available. For that, we'll need to switch to ArcMap. Maybe in next video I can show you how to do that in ArcMap. Thank you for watching video.